I'm John Gigliettino.
I'm Abigail Adams.
I'm Bobo Potzner.
I'm Risa Minikin.
And I'm Doris Hanley. Welcome to 30 Minutes.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Gigliettino. I'm your host. Welcome to 30 Minutes once again. We're going to have changing gear. We're going to be talking about rock and rescue. I didn't get a chance to ask what was the rock. I can understand the rescue. And something that's been close to my heart, cats. I've had 7 cats in my lifetime. And we're always talking about dogs, and the family had 1 dog. But I always liked the cats because the cats used to come up on my lap and watching TV or reading a book and pretending to watch a TV program. And sometimes I'd sit there for an hour or whatever, and cats would jump on my lap and go to sleep. I don't know, just a normal thing that went on. Anyway, without further ado and listening to me babble, I got Marla, Valentine, and Juli, Cialone. Cialone. I should know that, of being an Irishman myself. Anyway, welcome to the show. You tell us a little bit about yourselves, because we've got about 3,000 new people that have moved in, according to my realtor friends from New York City area and other points. And they may not know, you like the people in Richfield and your hometown. And tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the questions that we have for you. Starting with whoever wants to go first.
So Rock and Rescue is based in South Salem, New York, but we do adopt animals out to pretty much the greater Northeast area. Our specialty is therapy, cats in general, but we do obviously placements for dogs and cats and other critters. It was started many years ago by myself, and I have triplets who are now 24. And then the rock in the rescue was that I worked for many famous rock musicians doing their photography. And so those people all wanted to be involved in the animal rescue world as well. And they would sign the collars, which we still do. And the collar would go with the animal that it was, let's say, I don't know, Imagine Dragons, for example, signed collars. And so Imagine and Dragon became 2 animals. And those collars would go with the animals when they got adopted. And we always chose animals that maybe needed a little special help. And now our rescue mission is changed to rescuing animals to rescue people. And combined now with Marla, who is specialty is more on the therapeutic side. That's where Rock and Rescue really took shape and form, and that's its current function.
I wanted to know a little bit more about your background. I was going to get into what Rock and Rescue is, but we got that.
Yeah.
How did you get it? Are you involved with social work also at one time, or how did you get there before you got the Rock and Rescue?
Well, that's me.
Okay.
I have my master's in social work. I was a director of social services in a nursing home for over 25 years. And we decided, Juli and I, that it was time to bring therapy to animal rescue. And we worked out arrangements with several local nursing homes. And sorry, that's my dog's running around. And we started up therapy programs. So it's recreational therapy, and we also worked with occupational therapists, and we would come in and we would have established kitty clubs. The residents would gather in a small room, and this was prior to COVID, and we would set up a playpen, and we would have kittens in the playpen with toys where they would go fishing for kittens. Once they caught a kitten, we would pick it up, we would swaddle it, and we would put it in their laps. And this, we started in one nursing home and had such a wonderful turnout and such rave reviews that we started it slowly, adding more nursing homes. And I think prior to COVID, we were up to 7 nursing homes.
Wow. So it went from one to the other. Hey, they can bring them in here, and yeah, I like this or I like that. And they ask for colors and a brown cat or I want a black cat or right there things like that.
It was a kitty club. So what we would do is we had the kitty club ambassador at each nursing home, and they would come up with topics that they wanted Julie and I to discuss when we came to visit. We also, for the Super Bowl, we did like a kitty Super Bowl party. It was just a wonderful way for these residents to get, away from the doldrums of nursing home life and have a little bit of joy. And we would do reminiscent therapy as well with them. They would talk about when they were children or when their kids had pets, and it evolved. It went from we would come for just initially it would be 25 minutes, and toward the end, prior to COVID, we were staying for about 45 minutes.
Okay. Now, who do you have? Not to be too specific, but where do you get your funding to do all of this? And is it some of the rock and roll type entertainment people that you were saying before that are the major sponsors, or do you look for the general public to help it from time to time, and also volunteer from time to time?
So our general funding is basically private. We have not run on any government funds or any grants. Unfortunately, this year, because of COVID, we've lost all of our grant funding. So for us, the donation comes from when people adopt an animal, and then whatever the money they give us to adopt that particular animal is what goes towards the rest of our funding. We ask for private funds or for our Amazon list, just from the general public to hear about us and say, hey, you guys are a worthy cause. We are starting a new capital campaign to hopefully move our concept of animals as therapy into a actual facility. So that's going to be our goal for 2021, is actually creating a wellness center. Think of it as like a community center that's a cross between like a cat cafe and a complete therapy center, where you could come and have stress therapy, where you can talk to a psychologist who wants to incorporate animals into their therapeutic program, where you can adopt, but it wouldn't be a shelter per se, because we still love the fact that all of our animals are in foster.
Okay, so I was going to ask you that, where you get your animals. So they're in your temporary care while they're going somewhere else, right? Is that what it is?
Yes. So our foster program is pretty massive. So what we do is we heard several years ago that down south, everybody you hear when you go on a walk and you talk to people and they say, hey, where does your dog come from? Everyone's like, oh, Arkansas or Texas. But you really don't hear that about where people's cats come from. When rescues go down south, they tend to take dogs, but they tend to think that they have enough cats up here to rescue. Because our mission is so focused on animals that are super sweet and that are going to be therapeutic in some ways, our mission is really to say, hey, don't ignore the cats that are in the shelters down there. We'll take any cat down there that fits our criteria for sweetness and gentleness. No matter what age, or if it has, 3 legs, whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's a super sweet, great, healthy cat, we'll put it into one of our foster systems. If it's not healthy and we need to get it back to health, we'll obviously fund that as well. And in a home where we can see how it reacts to people and pets and children, we'll then be able to tell someone this is going to be your ideal match. And for the most part, we have probably one of the lowest return rates ever, because we are so careful about what cat goes with what family. And because these fosters down south and up north are really helping us pave the way for a perfect match. But Kentucky and Alabama are our primary states where we draw from, but we are now helping Long Island cats. We do pull out from cats from New York City's rescues, but for the most part, they're coming from the south.
Everyone is temperament tested. We have it down pat.
Yeah. A big system. there's lots of steps along the way to make that happiness
But
happen.
that is what we're known for. We're known for our therapeutic placements.
Yeah, very good. At this point in time, let me have you give your contact information for those that want to take a look. If you have a website and your email and a telephone number, if they'd like to call you, maybe to volunteer or what have you. That's we'll do it now, and then we'll do it towards the end of the show. But let's go ahead, whoever's knows your website. And
So our website is the letter R as in rock, the letter N as in Nancy, the letter R as in roll. So rock and rescue or rescue. So RNR and then pets, PETS.org. That's our general website. On the website, we actually have an amazing blog that is run by the children and young adults that help our rescue. We have lots of
We have a junior
adults.
advisory board.
And on that site, you'll be able to have links to where you can look at our adoptable animals, but we also specialize in custom searching. So people do a dog or a cat application, and they can apply from there. In terms of, we have a great Facebook page, we have a great Instagram page, at Rock and Rescue _ is our Instagram. Facebook is just Rock and Rescue. For telephone number, we use 585-746-4609. We ask people to please, if you're calling, to text first, just because where we live is quite isolated. Here's one of our little fosters.
I was
But I'm
just
sorry,
asking if you had any critters.
This one's adopted though, so there's no asking about this one being to be adopted yet. We have plenty other ones, trust me.
Okay.
This is baby Lana.
How many people volunteer? Or how many volunteers do you need on a regular basis? I know the two you try to keep, handle as many as you can, but you probably need a few people to help out at different times, right? Do you have?
We're very fortunate. We have worked very closely with NCL, which is the
National Charities League.
National Charities League, and they supply us with almost every weekend mother-daughter teams of volunteers, and we have so many repeat volunteers. It's wonderful. There's never a time where we are lacking in volunteers. Many of the local high schools, Ridgefield, as well as John Jay, those kids come in and volunteer. Plus, we have a lot of adults, so we're lucky to have that support with volunteers. Every weekend, we have volunteers who come in who help us with adoptions, and then during the week, we have volunteers who come and help us with some of our fosters that need some socialization. And of course, there's always the dirty work, the cleaning, the managing, of the food and the litter, things like that.
We're also looking for volunteers that can write grants, because that's one of the areas that we just don't have enough time to write our own at this point. We are just Marla and I are 24/7. Our phones are a 24/7 hotline to our adopters and to ones who have adopted and ones who are going to be adopting in the future. For life. So if there's ever a question or they want to send us happy pictures, it could be at 2 a.m. we get messages. Writers are a huge thing for us. PR, huge thing for us as well.
Well, I happen to know a couple of grant writers, so I'll put a buzz in their ear.
We love you, John.
So you're always looking for volunteers, and are you always looking for people to maybe help with your finances? So you might be looking for a couple of board people too, right?
Yes, please. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We like to think out of the box. So any people who really have great ideas, we're here listening to them, because I really believe there's a different way to look at things some days. And when you're so busy rescuing like we are, so busy talking, we sometimes lose the fact that we need to focus on some of that as well.
What do you foresee in the future for the organization? You've got this COVID period, which hopefully is done, let's say by September. I mean, we might have residuals until the end of the year. But after that, I would think with a more normal world, you're going to go back to going into as many nursing homes as you can and maybe other things. Go ahead.
Well, for the foreseeable future, there's a number of things. As we mentioned, we are gunning for our wellness center this year. The wellness center for us, it would be like a hub of the programs that we have wanted to start or continue. So, for example, the nursing home program, we could expand the nursing home program to having them come to us at our facility instead of us always going there. It would maybe people who are at home and who can have pets, they can come in and have their own time also. But we involve many young adults because of COVID. Our therapeutic adoptions to homes with children or young adults under 23 has been skyrocketed. It's been unreal how many families are having who have autistic children, who have children who are suffering from illnesses, who have children who are suffering just from depression, and high rate of suicide attempts in children. It is just we've never heard so many calls. I have to say at least one a day for me to talk to these families and listen to their stories. So we feel like, having a community center where we can do art programs, maybe drawing with your pets, music is so huge.
A tutoring room where you can be
we have,
tutored, but you get at the same time, you can be holding a cat, or you can have a cat sitting on your lap.
Many of our young adults want to do a program where, let's say, our NCL girls are, reading to a child, where we have mom groups come in so the kids can do reading programs, even socializing. Even adults who want to have have a fun time on more of an adult level. It's all about animals being therapeutic. And we want to extend our programs back out into the community. Excuse me, our cuddle sessions, our stress therapy in hospitals. We have a cancer program that we want to work with, and other programs that were somehow stalled because of COVID.
And this is where we stand out from the other rescues. We're very different. We don't have fees. We ask for minimum donations for the animals. For our therapeutic placements, there is never, we don't ask for any donations. We provide everything for our therapeutic placements, and we do so many of them. And that's why the minimum donations are so important to us, because they allow us to do the therapeutic placements.
So your attempt here is to reach out to people by way of social media and get as many volunteers, and also people contribute monies to the organization, and also people that need the services, because I would think it's a bonus for a volunteer. They come in, they do some work, and they also feel better at the end of the day after working with all the cats.
Exactly. That is exactly the point. It's therapy for everybody, and also it's like a big family. When we pre-COVID, when people adopted, we had snacks and people we had cookies, and it was a very happy place, because it is happiness when you finally have this period of time where these animals have come so far to be loved, and then for them to give such love back. It's a very, very happy side of the rescue. And with the sad, the people who volunteer, they need to see that happy, and they do feel part of a big family. I mean, she's not my sister, but she pretty much could be.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that at 3 different points. I said, nah, but I said, yeah, but they look so much alike.
We finish each other's sentences. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
You should be my twin sister. I'm a little older. By a few months.
There's sections of Italy, and maybe the families came from maybe long way back. You were your cousins or whatever, Yeah. So, because you're the bone structure, it seems like your sisters. You don't have the same names. So it's good to know that people like yourself exist and that you're doing such good work.
Yeah.
And once again, you're looking for board people, you're looking for volunteers, you're looking for volunteers that's got a few dollars that they can drop, and you're also looking for for post-COVID, you're looking for places that want to have this type of service where people could come in. Now, somebody out here on the internet says, in a given year, how many animals do you go through?
So we are a new rescue. The first year we came out, we did about 400 adoptions a year. The second year was close to 900. Third year was the pre-COVID year. We did 1,380 adoptions that year, and this past year was 2,241 exactly. So it was a very, very big amount of animals.
A lot of therapeutic placements in 2020.
Yeah.
A lot of young adults under college students, young adults.
And it's we probably could have done more if we didn't, if it was just the two of us. I think that's part of the other reason is if we can expand more in 2021, it would be so that we can help more people.
And then do the adoptions to just local people or outside of the area?
We do adoptions pretty much across the Northeast. I'd say our primary adopters who know us, and it's really been first word of mouth has been Fairfield County in Connecticut. Although I would definitely say Connecticut as a state and whole seems to know and follow us in general. But Westchester, I think, would be next. We have Connecticut.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Some New Jersey.
New Jersey. We have we have a bunch of Vermont people. Rhode Island.
I was going to say a tri-state, but you got Vermont, so that's not.
Oh yeah, we have Vermont. We had one a fly-in from California a year and a half ago, and go all the way back to California with their kitty. So I mean,
and we follow up with each and every one of them.
So
it's not like they adopt and then they're gone.
No.
They adopt and they're actually in our personal phones.
Yeah.
So we keep in touch. We go through our lists. We, send out requests. How are they doing? Do you need anything? Is there anything going on? We answer questions regarding behavioral. We help. We've actually placed animals into clinicians' homes, and the clinicians write to us and tell us that they're bringing their animals with them to work.
Yeah, it's really
great. They're still doing in-person one-on-one counseling, and for certain individuals, they're bringing their cats to work so that it can be there as a support animal.
I would imagine they have a certain way of being transported, right? You recommend like a little cage or something so that they don't get in trouble when they go to work.
Plastic carrier.
They have special carriers, but we also show them how to slowly integrate them onto leashes, so that if they are going into a nursing home kind of facility and they want that animal to have more free roam, if the way you train a cat to use a leash is different than a dog. So we teach them how to get their cat used to a leash, which works sometimes. Not every cat.
We help them behaviorally as well with how to de-stress the animal and to work with the animal so that it sits comfortably on someone's lap. These are all things that we work with particular adopters with if they want to take the cat to the next level and introduce it to a more therapeutic environment.
Now, do you work with more than one veterinarian on doing all of the things to make the more than one, right? It's not like you're just dealing with your brother, your sister, or whatever.
Yeah, we couldn't do what we do without the support and love of our local veterinarians.
Yeah.
Okay, and also I'm curious. It's just something. Do you name the pets while they're with you, or you just call it Animal A or something? I don't know. I would think you have to call them something while you're with you.
They all have names.
They all have
names. They might be renamed later on, but
yeah. I mean, most of the animals are named by the fosters because if many of the fosters have children, and of course they want to be the number one namer. So sometimes people adopt an animal. They're like, "Where did you get that crazy name?"
Rainbow,
we're like,
Pinky,
we didn't
Sparkle.
name them. Like the kids name them. So just bear with us. You can always change the name. Right. I just adopted a 12-year-old cat. I changed his name. he's fine with it.
Skywalker,
Yeah, he got some crazy names.
lamppost.
Yeah, lamppost. Lamppost was found in a lamppost.
If an animal is being fed, 3 times a day or whatever, and you're calling the animal Jimmy or something, after a while they'll understand that's what you're known by to this. They'll answer to that, even if they were called the Skywalker originally.
That's totally true.
Yeah.
So let's give your contact information once again. We got about 2.5 minutes or so to go, and your website, your email, and if there are questions on follow up here, and telephone number.
Yep, our email, I forgot to give you that before, is rock and rescue. So ROCK, the letter N, rescue, the number 1 at gmail.com. There's on the screen is our website. That is actually the best place to go because it has most of the information to us. For urgent things, our phone number 585-746-4609. Again, we ask people to text on those lines because it's easier from where we live, unfortunately. At Rock and Rescue on Instagram, our Facebook page is always active and friendly. We've got great people. Some of our young adults from our board are manning those as well, waiting for questions. We're here not just for a resource for our adopters, but we're here for the general public who have any questions, a cat-related problem. We're not here to just help our cats. We're here to help cats in general and pets in general. I mean, if someone's looking for a dog, we can help them match with a dog. If someone's even looking for a horse, or we do chickens. Who would ever thought we'd ever do chickens?
We also do community outreach. We work with the John Jay Middle School, their animal care club.
Oh,
so
sure.
They meet I think it's the third Tuesday of every month. And we've been asked back several times. And we've actually gotten a lot of volunteers from this group. So, we work with them and we answer all their questions. And it's not just about cats, not even dogs. Sometimes it's about bearded dragons. We do what we can. But, we communicate, the importance of spay and neuter. And the importance of taking care of whatever animal you have, whatever pet.
Well, you're a unique organization where somebody could go volunteer, get something in return, and then you're also being funded because they love it so much they're going to also donate. So you can do 3 things with every person that you touch and comes your way. So I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing this with us. And I want to thank the viewers for tuning in to 30 Minutes. See you next week, same time, same station.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for loving cats.
Yeah.